Hey boys, do you think you could come talk to me about your worm farm in the basement? People have questions that I don't know how to answer.
Sure. Okay. What kind of questions?
You should probably put your fishing rod away.
You want to do fishing so bad because it's the
So we're just looking things on the floor.
This feels like a bad idea.
Yeah. Still looking a bit.
Just bring them over here.
Probably didn't rot in half.
Oh no, the top's just a bit dry. Yeah, you should get some water. This is our worm farm. Soil directly from our garden with compost, mushy apples, banana peels.
Okay, just wait a second. Wait, slow down. So first of all, explain why you two wanted to set up a worm farm.
Well, we thought it would be a fun project to do, and then we'd have worms that are nice, big, and ready for fishing. And then we realized we'd have to empty it out, and since the soil is
So nice.
worm poo, we were gonna use it for like the things that don't do good, like Dad's peppers.
And pumpkins.
With this soil,
Well, the last time we didn't.
it's nice and rich.
So where did you learn about it?
Well, for a while we didn't want to. Then we watched a couple of YouTube videos, and then
Filled a couple of buckets with dirt and worms. Dad said we don't want a bucket of rotting worms in the yard, so figure out actually how to do it. So we watched some videos.
and then
And Dad said if you did a good job with it in the summer, you could bring it in the basement and it could live in here in winter.
and they've done great. There's nice big worms. Whenever people come, we start digging like there's no worms because the worms hate the top because they think because they were outside while it was a bit cold, so that triggered their hibernation mode. So they're all at the bottom.
Okay, so how did you set it up? Hamish,
Well-
could you explain?
Well, first we said.
First you took one of my totes that had
That-
clothes in it.
Dad said we couldn't use one of the nice totes, so we had to use one of these ones. The hand was like, kill your hands.
So yeah, this tote doesn't have good handles.
So Dad said we could use it for worms, but then we used a lid. Crap. So then
Okay, you used a lid. Why didn't the lid work?
Because it would leak in the worms.
Because the dirt spread it out so much that it didn't work. But then we found a piece of plexiglass and we put it over top and it let just a little bit of sunlight in, which was good. And then no water could get in because it was in the shade. But a little bit of sun would come back.
And another important
Okay, so
thing is
you know
gotta
what?
water your worms.
So first, Hamish, explain to me. You guys got a tote, and what did you put in it?
Dirt.
Dirt
Okay.
from our garden.
Okay, dirt from the garden, and then what'd you do?
We dug.
Hamish is telling
We
me.
dug a bunch of worms up, all sorts of different kinds. Well, actually, only two.
Red
We-
wigglers
And
night
night
crawlers.
crawlers.
We only have 3 night crawlers.
Okay, in a bit, you guys can show me what they look like.
Okay.
And-
We might not be able to find the night crawlers though.
Oh, there's some.
I know.
And this, we have to water. We have to water them.
Because their dirt needs, if it's dry, they're just gonna die. But at the top, when the top starts to get more like that, you can see the bottom is wet.
But still,
The top is-
bit of water.
So how wet do you want them to be?
Well,
We
you
want
want
it
it to be like.
Look at this.
You want
This
it-
is stuff at the top. It's
Like your
want it-
garden, you want it to be?
Yeah, you want it to be as wet as your
so
garden.
sprinkle it around because worms love water. And hopefully.
And how do you care for them? Do you feed them?
Yep,
Yeah.
we give them like we had some old zucchinis that they were moldy. We just put them in banana peels, apple cores.
And
There was some old mushy blueberries
You
that we
gotta
found in
make
a bowl.
you
So we
gotta
just-
make sure you bury the food and mix in the water.
Yep. And when we were thinning apples, we smashed them up and put them in because
The food has to be soft.
and
it is.
water.
You don't
night
see
crawlers-
you don't see much teeth on a worm.
And
That's
water will hopefully want the worms to come up.
Well, this is a red wiggler. It's not red because it's covered in dirt,
How
but
do you know that it's a red wiggler then?
because they're smaller. And
When
when
they're-
you grab a night crawler, the night crawler's just the flat.
It seems to flatten itself, and then if you rub your finger on it, it feels like gritty, like there's little spikes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And there's also some here on this one.
Yeah, they have smaller ones. And
So in the summertime, where did you keep it?
we kept it in the shade beside the house.
So every so often a bit of water would come in,
Off the roof.
so we could water them off the roof, and it'd be shady. And then maybe like 5 minutes a day there'd be.
And how we know that they're breeding is we didn't put a worm in that big.
Well, we put a few in, but there's quite a few.
Which means they're starting to lay eggs and then
breed. You
'Cause-
can't really
So they're multiplying.
yes, they're multiplying. We really want our night crawlers to multiply because they get like this long. They get huge.
What is that?
banana peel.
This is old banana peel. That is part of the old banana peel. Then.
Okay, almost looked like a cat poop.
No, it's old banana peel.
Pine cones shouldn't be in
Because you
here.
can see this is starting to
Yeah,
get more
okay.
red. And these ones tend to wiggle around in their position, but the night crawlers just are flat and they stretch themselves out. They do it like this, but they don't wiggle around.
Well, they're not always flat, but when you start holding them, they flatten themselves out of it.
So in the house, where do you keep your worm farm?
We keep them in a shady spot over
Out
there.
of the way.
So out of direct sunlight?
Yeah, because there's that room, the light bulb isn't that good, and it's in a spot where there's shade covering it.
And
We keep it right by a freezer so it gets shaded by the freezer.
it's not, and
Well, let's start digging for some worms.
so you've already seen find a night
We
crawler.
spent a while looking for it. One
Yeah,
time
we have
we were
at
just
least-
digging around seeing how big our worms were, and then all of a sudden there's this massive worm, and we're all like, what is that?
So this is an empty water bottle that they just refilled with tap water. They're not feeding them any special water. It's just
No.
our tap water.
Yeah.
See, there's a small worm.
Which is good because that's
So what do you feed them in winter when you don't have stuff from the garden and fruit trees?
Well, any sort of scrap we have. We always have some sort of veggie, and we got piles of carrots and like carrot peels if there's bad ones, and
carrot.
bottoms and left
Apple
apple
cores?
cores.
apple cores.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much just anything from an old fruit or veggie scrap. If you peel potatoes, the peeling will work, but we don't.
Yeah, we don't peel our potatoes or
Well,
our
at the end of the year when they're getting nasty. All
Sometimes
wrinkled up.
we do, when they're getting a bit nasty.
So the worms are all at the bottom? How many
Yeah.
worms do you have in this thing? How many did you put in here?
We have no idea. We just put a pile of
About
worms.
200, and they
Definitely.
probably multiply
Oh,
about
is that
3
enough?
times as much.
How often do worms multiply?
I don't know. They can breed all the time.
We don't know. We don't want.
You just need 2
You
worms.
don't want, and you don't want rocks in there.
What's the name for
Small
it?
rocks, but
That
Oh, they're asexual. They don't need to
Yes.
mate?
you just need 2 worms.
So why do you need 2 if they're asexual?
Because two.
because they have.
Because
they
each
still
worm is
have
a
to-
boy and a girl.
Because they have
So
to
they-
breed. They still have to breed, but they don't.
We're going to have to look into this. I'm not sure about this.
Yeah,
Mr. Kesh was telling me about it. Oh, yep. See, there's some more worms.
Oh, sorry. There was a smaller one there. Oh, there's another one. See how many there are? There's probably about 400 in here, but they're just always moving. You can see this is
See,
good
now
there,
they're-
so we're probably gonna grow like peppers,
Pumpkins.
just stuff that we usually don't do too good.
Here's all of our little success. This is our success. Worm.
So that's a bit
You
dry.
told people about our worm farm?
Yeah. I said something about it on Instagram, and there was so many questions, and I didn't know how to answer
This is
them.
like the nice worm that's just a red wiggler. Like, this is a sweet worm. It'll catch fish. It'll...
So these are for ice fishing.
Yeah, these are for
Oh,
ice
yeah.
and
Hold on.
just
See?
any fishing.
The bigger ones, see, when it's stretched out, grade your finger, feel your finger on it.
Yeah, and
You can...
Oh, yeah.
there's
You can
little spikes. Like not spikes, but just
My theory is it helps them get along through the dirt.
yeah, they're kind of like flaps, I guess.
Probably won't find Nightcrawler.
But it'd be cool if we did because there's monster worms.
And the ones we have aren't even that big. I remember Ham, it was a rainy day. Ham was like, we might find a Nightcrawler. And I was like,
Hamish, we only have 2 on our worm farm and we've never seen any. And he was like, well, I'm going to go. And the first thing I look under, there's 2 small worms and a monster nightcrawler like this long. It was crazy. Yeah.
So this worm farm, it doesn't smell at all. I think that's why you always have to bury your
that's
whatever
why-
scraps you put in,
Yeah.
and then they won't smell.
Hey.
It just smells like dirt.
See, there's an old rotten apple. That's a rotten apple, or is that a peach? It's an apple. Don't want to grab that. Yeah, it's not. It's like the time you were digging potatoes and the dog pooed in it.
Or the time we were digging potatoes and you dug your hand into a mouse nest under the straw.
I brought them over to the pigs and fed them to them. It was cool.
It was horrible.
It was
Mac
awesome.
ran away screaming and
was-
Hamish ran to them.
He was like, "What is it? What is it?"
That was pretty
I
funny.
was hoping it was a snake. I was hoping it's a snake because we found the snake at Irrigation Lake. It was so fun. I played with it like for like an hour.
A long one.
Until we went. I played with him. The thing is, Rowan likes the idea of worms, but you show her a worm, she's like, ah! She'll go.
We have a joke in our family that she'll walk up to a full-size cow, but don't bring her near a worm.
Me and Hamish eat worms.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. All right, Mac, let's show them.
Wash it first. It's covered in dirt.
Yeah. Now it's. We're gonna eat this big long.
Wait, no,
worm.
Ham. That's a good worm.
Oh yeah, it's too big.
This one's a small one.
Where is it?
One. That's a bit too big.
That's a hatch
If
one.
you want to eat worms, here's a tip. Don't chew them.
Yeah.
You get a sweet taste in your mouth that feels like, oh no, is this poison or something in them? It's like a sweet, bitter taste. It's like terrible because I chewed one up.
Yeah. There's not. That's a tip. That's a tip that you
Don't chew them.
Don't chew.
Swallow them.
All right, let's look for one.
Okay, show the camera. Show the camera. Prove it. Okay.
Nobody likes me, everybody hates me. I'm gonna go eat worms.
Eat it now.
Long, slim, slimy one, short, fat, juicy ones, itsy bitsy, teensy weensy worms. First you bite the head off, then you suck the juice out. Then you throw the rest away.
You gotta eat the whole thing to prove it. Long, slim, slimy
One short, fat, juicy ones, itsy bitsy, teensy weensy worms.
The first one was easy, the second one was queasy.
The
Wait, no,
third-
we gotta stop. The first one was easy.
Alright, the first one's easy. So another. Alright, Mac's turn.
The second one
One's
was queasy.
queasy. Alright, I'll do
God, it was covered in dirt.
I'll do the third. One. Wormy, wormy, wormies.
No, it's a nice one.
It's a nice big juicy one.
Oh.
Oh, here's one.
The third got stuck in my throat.
It was covered in dirt.
Long, slim, slimy ones, short, fat, juicy ones, itsy bitsy, teensy weensy worms.
So I'm pretty much crying. I'm laughing so hard.
Oh, there's a chunky.
Oh, look at this.
I hope you learned something about worm farms.
Oh, there's a
I'm not sure if we recommend eating worms, but apparently it's a fun party trick.
And look, this is a pretty big one here.
Mm-hmm.
They're nice chunkies.
Say yours.
I'm not scared of worms. I just don't want to eat them.